It is late at night. My windows are open. There's a loud banging outside. So sorry. I was about to say sorry if it got picked up, but you definitely heard that. What the heck? I don't know what that is, and I don't really want to know. Welcome back to today's episode of Junktober. Today's prompt is loop. I had a lot of different ideas for this. Originally, before I had like the diorama planned at all, when I was just making the prompt list, I was thinking that maybe I could figure out a way to do like a hedge maze, and that could kind of like work for loop, like a creepy, but that doesn't really make sense with this diorama. Then I'm kind of thinking of loop as in rope, like you can make a loop out of rope. That's how I'm connecting it to rope. Loop, rope. It's a stretch, okay? I'm just gonna go for it. Next year, I'm probably gonna do away with the prompt because this is getting ridiculous. Anyway, loop, rope, in a loop, it's fine. I saw this tutorial, hold please while I search, from Haunt's Wargaming. Go look up Haunt's Wargaming if you want to watch this full tutorial. The video is called Cheap and Easy Terrain DIY Trees or Bushes. It was posted on August 25th, 2025. Hopefully that's enough information for you to find it. I want to make some bushes with rope. The main kind of approach in making bushes out of rope is, well, actually, let me just get started and show you. The main approach appears to be to cut pieces of rope roughly as tall as you want your bush to be. Then you can use a little spot of super glue or hot glue would probably work really well because you don't want it to be falling apart on you. I'm gonna use a little bit of super glue just on the end. Actually, a lot of super glue. Full disclosure, I have gleaned enough from the Haunt's Wargaming tutorial that I feel confident in executing this, but I watched it like several weeks ago. So I actually don't want to rewatch it because I don't want to fully copy him. I think I am basically doing his technique, but I guess what I'm saying is don't quote me on this exact method. I don't even remember if he used super glue, but I do know that he glued it together in some way. While this first one dries, I'm gonna make a bunch of these and then we'll move on to the next step. While those are drying, I'm gonna grab a couple extra things. Drying rack, this is like for cookies, a cooling rack, but I clearly have commandeered this for crafting. It has like paint and crap all over it. But it's particularly useful for this technique. These are not dry yet. So what you're gonna want is some sort of little cup. Yeah, don't love that I'm using this plastic cup, but it's what I have currently. Then you're just gonna mix together some water. I should probably just take the lid off. You just need a little bit. And then some PVA glue, or I'm actually gonna use super matte Mod Podge because I honestly just want an excuse to open this super matte version. And I do think Mod Podge always adds a little bit of extra durability than PVA glue because it is basically PVA glue with some sort of extra ingredient, like some sort of resin type of thing. You're looking for a pretty thick but liquid amount. Okay, so now I've got a dry bit of rope, and what I'm going to do is kind of tease apart these ends. So the bottom is glued. You kind of maybe have to bend it a little bit. This is just like a cheap rope. It's not like wiry per se, but it does tease apart fairly well. Now that I have kind of teased this apart to my liking, I'm gonna just dip this into the PVA glue mixture and then let it dry like that so that it really hardens up and looks rad. And hope that it's not too crazy. This is where I'm like, should I have watched Haunt's Wargaming video before doing this? He did something similar, but like, I don't think he had this thing fully drenched, but Okay, this looks a little janky. I definitely put way too much of the mixture on. I think it'll look all right. Not a fan of the black Mod Podge flaking off onto it. I'm gonna change my gloves. So I've kind of teased it apart as best I can. It's kind of looking like the Cynthia doll from Rugrats, if you know what I'm talking about. I kind of feel like I should spend a little extra time teasing the branches apart, but actually that looks pretty cool. And again, these are bushes. So this is the trunk of the bush and the branches of the bush, but this is gonna be covered in some more foliage to make it look like a bush. So it's probably fine. And then I'm going to put it in the drying rack, just like that, so that it dries. So I'm going to get a fresh pair of gloves and take the rest of my 5 tree armatures, and the next shot will be once they have dried, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so I've made 5 bushes. They definitely are like big bush size, but I feel like you could definitely make some small trees too. They're kind of like small tree, big bush kind of size. But they're really cute. I'm gonna let them dry. Hopefully the matte Mod Podge looks pretty good, because I definitely don't want these trees to look glossy, and they have been completely dunked in the Mod Podge mixture. Now I'm just going to let them dry, and next we will be flocking them. They look so good. They're perfectly dry. They worked out so well. They're hard, like I'm squeezing it, and they're really hard. So actually dipping it in that matte Mod Podge was fantastic. I have this very dusty Tupperware filled with this. It is like this hard bush material that already has these like cool little vines. I think this is gonna work really well as like a little bit of greenery on these bushes. But I do want them to be like a little sparse. But like, are there evergreen bushes? Yeah, right? Y'all, I'm making this up. I don't want to have to research. This is my own fantasy graveyard. So the tree's dead and the bushes are going to be green. It is what it is. So I am just going to glue some of this up and glue on little patches. I do want it to look sparse. I am gonna probably cover it with some other bits of greenery as well, like some maybe of this like yellow flocking to kind of get it to look a little bit more fall-y. I think that will look really nice if I can pull that off. Okay, these are looking pretty cool. But there's our first little bush. It's pretty cute. It kind of looks like a haunted piece of broccoli or something. I am going to add a teensy bit of the same liquidy mixture that I used to harden these, to just get a little bit of red and yellow on these bushes. A little bit of yellow as well. I actually genuinely do like the tedium sometimes of like making like a custom little thing. I think that looks really cute. I'm wondering if I need one more color of flocking. Like, is the red overpowering? Burnt grass. I think that's a nice color. It is coarse as opposed to fine. This is starting to look actually kind of ugly. Wait, no. Did I like it better before? Maybe. Luckily, I have 4 more. So I'm gonna film fast mode version of covering up. I might vary up how I do the flocking on these other 4 and kind of see which ones I like the best. So keep watching. All right, finished doing the leaves, and I decided after the first one that I was in fact adding too much color. So what I ended up doing for the other 4 is the green from that mixture right there, and some of the coarse turf from Woodland Scenics, burnt grass, coarse turf. Less is more. I think that mixture looks really good. Obviously the glue still needs to dry and they don't look their best on this messy desk, but I'm excited about them and I think they're gonna look really nice. Stick around till the end. I'm about to show you some B-roll of them once they are fully dried. But other than that, that's gonna do it for today's episode of Junktober Loop. And stick around to see how this all unfolds. We're getting to a lot of the really fun details now, so you're not gonna wanna miss anything else. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.